In the aftermath of South Africa's elections, political parties have a long way to go, a lot of steps to climb to form a government or a coalition government to lead South Africa forward. What will happen? One possibility in the aftermath of these elections here in 2024 in South Africa is a coalition that actually makes a lot of sense. Now, I've talked previously about the multi-party charter parties coming together and potentially going to form a grand alliance with the ANC, which will put them over 70% by the estimates I made before the election. But let's take a look at after the election. If the multi-party charter dissolves, which appears to be the case, and once parties resign from it and negotiate with the ruling party, which will no longer rule unless it gets a coalition, when that happens, the smart money, which a lot of people find unpalatable, but it's in the best interest of South Africa, certainly not something I would desire, but given the circumstances, the best outcome would be the following. The ANC aligns with the Democratic Alliance, and then they bring another partner in, a mild partner, one that is comprised almost entirely, but not exclusively, of Zulu, one led by a calm voice, a voice of reason, someone who's been mentored by Mangosuthu Buthelezi, none other than the Inkatha Freedom Party. Now, Inkatha is the only major party in South Africa that actually grew in this election. Yes, I know the DA has got 3 more seats in Parliament, but that's just by default because the ANC lost 4 million votes and fewer people voted. So the DA's smaller numbers resulted in a larger allocation of seats. So the ANC lost 4 million votes. The DA lost 100,000+ votes. The EFF lost votes. They all lost votes. The Freedom Front Plus lost votes. The ACDP lost votes. But the one party that actually gained in this election, let's put MK aside because they're not part of this equation. MK is a new kid on the block, but an existing party that regained seats was the Inkatha Freedom Party. And the surprising part about this for many is that Inkatha did so in the face of Jacob Zuma's cult of personality popularity in garnering over 1 million votes in KwaZulu-Natal, almost entirely amongst Zulu, many of whom would have voted potentially for the IFP, but certainly weren't planning on voting for the ANC. So the IFP, despite the fact that Zuma was wildly popular in KZN and the party got 45% there, that's most of the base support for IFP, they rose by over 100,000 votes and increased their percentage to nearly 4%, making them credible, getting 17 seats in Parliament. The ANC has 159, the DA has 87. The IFP with 17 comes into the mix. No president nominee from the ANC, no president nominee from the DA. They both swallow their pride and they both recommend and then nominate and vote for President Hlabisa, the president of the Inkatha Freedom Party, man, mentored by Mangosuthu Buthelezi. And this is the best possible outcome. It's not ideal, but it's the best possible outcome in the circumstances. How would it work? Well, the DA and the ANC would divide up ministries. The IFP would probably get a ministry or 2 or some important functionary positions, but they would get the president of the republic. The deputy president could come from the DA, could come from the ANC, not sure which. Or they could bring yet one more partner in, which would make it even more interesting, but unlikely. ANC, DA, IFP, and Action SA. There you go. Herman Mashaba for the deputy, and President Hlabisa for president of South Africa. That would be an interesting mix. They'd be hamstrung and hampered, of course, by reliance on the ANC and DA, but nothing's going to be pretty going forward. That seems like a good mix. So let's see who else tells you about this. I'm giving you this concept. I've talked about it previously, and now just give me a little more detail. ANC, DA, IFP. Best possible outcome in the situation we find ourselves in. Those 3 parties would not have enough votes working together to amend the Constitution, so that will reassure voters. The ANC and DA going to coalition would reassure the international financial markets and foreign direct investors. And for the people who aren't wackadoodles in South Africa, most rational people say, hey, all things being considered, this is the best possible option for us. But the one wrinkle is if they brought Action SA in as well, another former or member of the multi-party charter, and put Herman Mashaba up as the deputy president. Would he accept it? I think he might. Let's see what happens. President Hlabisa for president of South Africa. Zulu, not DA, not ANC. Sounds pretty good. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Be sure to hit the like button, become a subscriber. During our live streams, make sure that you get the link to our WhatsApp group for the travel group during my time here in South Africa in June 2024. And also so you get the links to the regular WhatsApp groups so you stay informed when the shadow banning kicks in again. That way you can find my content and watch it as often as you like, or as seldom as you like, preferably often. Thanks a lot. Cheers. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.